So here we are in a spectacular Cotswold location for this private collection, of which we're offering 11 of the 12 cars. The 12th is having some work done at the moment, so it may well be included, but it may be included in the later date. But anyway, that aside, here we've got some of the cars, and we'll show the other two later on. So here we've got a 1963 E-Type coupe with a 3.8 engine, 1997 Morgan 4.4 that's done only 7,800 miles from new, a Morgan flat rad with a 2-litre Pinto in it, an MGTD with a 5-speed gearbox conversion, an MGTF 1500, a Healey Sprite, and then behind me we have a lovely Bentley Series 3 and another Bentley Mark 6, and the other two cars around the corner that we'll see afterwards are an Aston Martin Virage and a beautiful Jaguar XK120 SE. So we'll start with this E-Type and have a quick look at it. This is a right-hand drive car, original UK market car the vendors had for quite a long time. It's had a complete bare metal restoration in we think the 1990s, but without going through the history file in depth yet to confirm the year. But it has had a complete restoration. It's been used regularly. It's a lovely, lovely bit of kit. Again here, the Morgan 4.4, it's got a Rover engine, we understand, done just 7,800 miles from new. This is like a new car, and it's from that lovely era of Morgans in the late 90s before they became adorned with more modern headlights and things like that. But it looks exquisite in Old English white with its blue hood. And next to it here, the Morgan flat rad, which has had its engine changed at some point. This is originally from the 40s, I think 1947. 2-litre Pinto engine, lots of fun, really rather fast and zesty. Twin spare wheels, which is something the owner really liked. Next to it here, the MGTD. This has had a 5-speed gearbox upgrade, making it a little bit more usable for modern traffic. And we can drop the front windscreen down here and just enjoy the fly screens. Great on a day like today. Again, lovely car, formerly owned by a policeman who'd had it years and sold it due to ill health, unfortunately, but beautiful oxblood interior, Old English white. And next to it, we've got the complimentary TF 1500. The 1500 engine giving it a lot more zest and verve on the road. Again, lovely oxblood interior, left-hand drive car, probably an American car we gather. Very usable, lots of fun. But interestingly, these sort of things here, the TD and the TF, they've dropped back in value over the past couple of years. They used to be very predictable 20 grand plus cars. Now they're sort of late teens, early 20s at the most on a good day at a push. But lots of car for the money. Here we have a lovely Aston Healey Sprite, completely restored by its former owner. There's photographs on file of its basically bare metal restoration down to its component structure. Lovely interior. This is the one our vendor's daughter wants to keep and use and enjoy, but living one of these on a daily basis is probably not your thing unless you've grown up with them, but it could be. Bentley Mark 6 here. This has had we gather a larger engine fitted by Bentley, because the lady owner at the time used to like to tow her vintage caravan. Although the caravan wasn't vintage then, it is a period caravan, but it would look vintage to us now. But this is a lovely, very usable Mark 6. Nice interior, lovely patina. It's just a good, lovely, usable thing with a big, zesty 4.3, or it might be a 4.7 straight 6. We're not too sure yet, and that'll come as we go through the files. The vendor can't recall the exact detail on the engine size, but nice thing that he bought a while ago. Hasn't seen much use, unfortunately, but that's the way with classic cars. And then next to it, spectacular Bentley Series 3 with its big 6.2 V8. This is reputedly only done about 36,000 miles. It was owned by a wire company in the north and didn't cover a lot of miles. The mileage has been checked by our vendor who rang the company, and it was used by their chauffeur to collect people from the station. And the chauffeur himself answered the phone and said, yeah, the car was low mileage. He did all the miles in it, but it was only used on local short trips. So it looks like it's a genuinely low mileage S3. It, again, hasn't seen much recent use, but what a thing. Cracking light blue, sort of grey interior. Two-tone bodywork, very, very regal, spectacular, on offer for about sort of late 40s. Right, we're going to have a look at the other two. So here within this wonderful collection that we're privileged enough to look at and take to auction is this lovely 1990 Aston Martin Virage, finished in lovely blue. The car's shown about 65,000 miles. The vendor's had it a number of years and loves it. It's a spectacular looking thing with tall sidewalls on these tyres, so we're giving you a superb ride 5.3 V8 developing about 330 horsepower, and unusually with this one, 5-speed manual transmission, far more engaging than the original factory 3-speed auto, which most of them came with. It's a really handsome car, twin fuel filler caps because of its width, makes a fantastic noise, and of course was the precursor to the Vantage that came afterwards with 550 horsepower. These are rare, these Virages. They went through a few years where people were a bit confused about them. They weren't so loved, and they've come up in value since. Beautiful interior, hand-built car. What a thing. Expected to be guided at around 30 grand. Also within the collection we have this fantastic, if not exquisite, 1954 Jaguar XK120 SE for special equipment, including these lovely original Lucas flamethrower spot lamps. It's just gorgeous. Look at it in this beautiful red colour with beautiful red interior, black mohair hood. It's been restored in the US, came over here, been enjoyed by our vendor for a number of years now, including a couple of runs up Prescott, which have performed admirably. So being the SE, of course, we've got bigger brakes, bigger engine, more power, 120 mile an hour capability, hence the name. And interestingly, when you look in the back here, you can see the hood is contained beautifully and perfectly in this space behind the seats, unclips, folds out, goes away. Why can't modern cars be this simple? This hasn't been on the road for a couple of years, but it'll be running and driving by the time it comes to the sale. As we say, completely restored. It's going to be guided at around the 80 to 85,000 pound mark. What a thing. Absolute beautiful. Here we've got a 1968 Midget. Its fuel pump has decided to die, so that's being worked on presently, but this is a lovely car restored by its former owner. Not a professional restoration, more of an enthusiast restoration, but it looks superb. But it looks very smart, and it's wire wheels with new tyres, black vinyl interior with white pinstriping, lovely black roof, and of course that ever peppy and ever popular 1275cc engine. This will be on offer for around the 6 grand mark. Lovely bit of kit. Okay, so thank you for tuning in and having a look at this beautiful collection that we're privileged enough to offer for sale. They'll be on the catalogue soon. That's for our June sale, which is known as the Best of British, celebrating British icons. Hence all these cars are British and in the sale. So including the Aston and the Jag behind me and the other lovely cars you saw earlier. They'll all be on our catalogue, ready for viewing at the end of June and ready for bidding as well. So get your checkbooks open, get stuck in, get bidding. Hope you come away successful. Thanks awfully.